property costs. But just yesterday, we had an extensive conversation about the provision of the Constitution that talks about the District Assembly Common Fund, and also the provision of that fund which caters for persons living with disability. We've been joined in studio by Alexander Tetteh. He's the Executive President, the Center for Employment of Persons with Disability. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning.
How are you?
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm fine.
Great. Yesterday, we were discussing the delays in the payment of District Assembly Common Fund. And then I've been passionate about the persons living with a disability and how much you're first of all giving, but then also about the delays.
Yeah.
How does the delays affect you? The delays in the disbursement of what is due you, and people that you gather together to encourage and all of that. How does this affect you?
Thank you very much. In fact, it affects us greatly because you look at persons with disabilities and look at what they go through, and so it's unfortunate that the only money, because as we speak, that is the only social intervention for persons with disabilities. The money is not even enough. The common fund is not enough because for a district, you can look at not less than 2,000 persons with disabilities for each district, averagely. And so monies that come also range between the average of 150 million to 200 million. So every time it's not enough for the whole group. Because, for the District Assembly Common Fund, it takes care of medical issues, it takes care of educational issues, it takes care of livelihood issues like doing business. Because when I talk of livelihood, it's not like it goes like the
chop money, daily chop money.
No, it's not like that. You are giving money so you can do business, you can turn it around. And each time because the money is not enough for them, it's the group that disabled people into badges. And so sometimes for 3 years, the next badge hasn't come yet.
Really?
Oh, yes. It's important that as we have this discussion, we have disabled people who have witnessed, because for some of us they think that you are working, so you don't
deserve to be giving.
Not that you
support.
Don't deserve, but you are better off, and so you allow other people who are at the margins of
the poorest of the poor,
exactly, to get it, and so we understand, and so. But that is what they go through. And as we speak, the common fund, the last time we received common fund, or common fund was transferred from the common fund administrator, was the third quarter of last year. So we haven't received the fourth quarter. First quarter of this year hasn't come. Second quarter hasn't come, and we are in the third quarter. So, if we talk of social intervention for the poorest of the poor, you don't delay their money. The more you delay, you can imagine if they have health issues, it would delay, and so it amounts to death. If you have educational issues, it would delay. It amounts to lack of access to education, access to livelihood, and all that. So it affects us so much.
On the average, how much does an individual get, a person living with disability, if you belong to the first batch, second batch, or third batch, whichever batch is this? How much is given to you as benefit?
Okay, so it depends on what your demands are. It depends on what you need. If your needs are, if it is educational. And so they look at the bill, and the bill is not like it's not like a scholarship. So the bill is paid for probably the first term, and that's it.
Really?
Oh yes.
So if I apply to go to say a university, I qualify.
You qualify,
and I go to the university. First semester is what is taken care of.
That is all.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever it is. My own case.
No. Sometimes they just pay for the admission, and it's not the fault of the managers of the fund. It's the fault. It's the fact that the fund is not enough at any given time. So you are not on it forever. Okay. So if you are getting admission at the university and we have to take care of you for first level 100, level 200 up to 400. No, it doesn't happen like that. Even for the level 100, they can just pay for the first semester, and that's
it.
Yeah.
But how long has this been going on? Has this been the situation all this while?
Oh yes. I mean, this was established in 2005.
That's right.
And it has been like that because the fund is not enough.
Have you made interventions and requests to the point that, look, what is being given to us is not enough, number one. Number two, the period that you take. Have you made?
Oh, yes, we've made several appeals, several requests. I mean,
and what has been the response?
Oh, I mean, the fund is not. The money is not there. Money is not there.
So does it make you question a social protection standpoint as a country?
Oh yeah, we question it. And as we speak, look, some of us believe that even the LEAP is not serving its purpose.
Why do you say that?
No, I say that because look at the way we administer LEAP. Sometimes, because the LEAP is to lift you up,
right,
and take you off it. Some have been on LEAP for only God knows. And the money comes in 3 months. And I mean, how much is the money? 34 Ghana cedis multiplied by 3 months. How much do you get? And is that capable of leaping you out of poverty?
The politicians make a lot of noise about it.
Exactly.
Take a lot of photos, videos,
and take a lot of credits.
And you say they give what? 34 cedis?
34 cedis and multiply by 3 months. How much do you get?
That's about 100 and
yes,
5,
and that is what is done.
2 cedis, 102 cedis.
And sometimes even the money in showcasing that alone is a huge money. Every time monies are going to be reserved for disabled people for common fund, you have media, you have all kinds of politicians, and it's a big thing to show that disabled people are receiving items.
Why do you think they do that, the politicians?
Yeah, to score a cheap political point.
But have you told them this? That, look,
we cannot, because that is where we need the media.
Because you are the ones who are invited
yes,
to come and represent the people. Sometimes they line up people
exactly
with their wheelchairs, people with their crutches, and then they do this to them.
That is true.
When they finish and they give you the opportunity to also address the crowd, somebody should be bold enough to tell them in their faces.
Do we get opportunity on that platform? You wouldn't get opportunity. On that platform, whoever invites the media talks to the media. So we need the media to follow up these things. You understand? To follow up how many disabled people are getting and how is these things impacting in their life. We need to follow it up. I mean, sometimes they buy fridges, they buy sewing machines, they build containers for them, and that's it. I mean, you put up a container and you don't resource the person to buy things into the container and sell. The container will be there forever and nothing happens. And some are happening in Tema as we speak right now.
Empty
containers.
And what do the people use it for?
No, they are waiting for the next tranche, and which comes in about 3 years or 4 years.
Some people end up sleeping in them.
Yeah. If they don't have
them as homes.
because some of them live in kiosks and all that. So if I happen to have a container and unfortunately I'm not able to sell in it, I better go into the container and use that as accommodation.
You can't sell it if you sleep in it.
No, you can't sell it.
You can't sell it because the state bought it for you.
Yes, you can't sell it. It's a crime to sell those things. I mean, you have to use it to for livelihood, but it's not helping.
Does it come to you as a surprise that the District Assembly Common Fund is structured in such a way that as soon as the deductions are made, it's supposed to go into account, a certain account, and then at the end of that period, the money is supposed to be disbursed immediately?
Oh yes.
Are you surprised that the disbursement don't come on a regular basis?
It doesn't come because it comes straight from the Common Fund Administrator.
Right.
So she transfers the money. You know, in the past, when the money is lumped together with the common fund for the assembly.
That's right.
So we thought that we need a separate account. Now all the districts have a separate account purposely for the for the disability fund
allocation.
Yes.
Okay.
So it goes into it. But who has the power to withdraw? Is the chief executive and the administrator, the coordinating director, and the accountant.
Is it difficult to make a withdrawal?
It's not difficult. And so some of the assemblies borrow the money.
They borrow money.
Oh yes. Oh, you haven't heard that?
No, tell me more.
They borrow the money
To do what?
No, for their activities. Some borrow it for waste collection. Some borrow it for. I mean, there have been parliamentary committees that have investigated and found out this is a public knowledge.
I am shocked.
Oh, okay.
That
so that is what happens.
Money is meant for people who are already down.
Yeah.
Are borrowed by the assemblies who have access to internally generated funds.
Exactly.
To go and sometimes collect baller.
Yes.
And for how long do they borrow this money?
They borrow it, and I mean, God knows when they pay back, because disabled people sometimes go on demonstration that their money hasn't come, and the assembly tells them your money is not yet in. Meanwhile, if you follow up to the district assembly administrator, the funds has been transferred. Okay, so when you go deep, you realize that the money has been borrowed for other things, and disabled people will be suffering. Some will die out of it. Some, yeah. So
when such appeals are made and such conversations come, people get emotional. They want to donate.
Yeah.
You have been an advocate of not being too much for donations, but rather to empower persons living with disability, such that they will be able to fend for themselves, help society to also develop, so that everybody can be at par, rather than giving them handouts.
Yeah.
Why would you say a thing like that? I mean, if somebody is not living with ability, that person needs to be supported, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I said so because, you see, disabled people must move from the mindset of charity. You see, and that is why there's huge. You see, people think that, there's common fund, and so we should all wait for common fund. If you want to wait for common fund for Ghana, for disabled people, you will die. So take your destiny into your hands and see what you can do with your hands. If you want to seek support to build your capacity, build your economic capacity, to make your own income. Because if you want to wait on donation and want to wait for common fund to give you whatever you need, it will never come. Currently, as we speak, the common fund, though it's coming, okay, it's not serving its purpose. It's not serving its purpose at all. Because for education, if the common fund doesn't give you scholarship, doesn't take off your whole educational needs, if you get to second level 200 and you are not able to continue, what has it done to you?
I see.
Okay, so that's my concept. That is what I propagate, that disabled people must look beyond charity, build their capacity, and be able to fend for themselves rather than depending on donations.
But then if abled persons are able to get, say, a cocoa scholarship, I mean, I got cocoa scholarship. My father asked me to reject. My father rejected it because he said, I don't plant cocoa, I don't harvest cocoa, I have no business with cocoa. You don't need it because I can pay. So let the cocoa farmer's son or daughter benefit from it. And he rejected it. But if you have able-bodied people who get these scholarships, I mean, both in Ghana and to travel outside, why should the person living with disability get the same?
Yeah, that is true. But you see, that was in the past. Now our system is so corrupt that people who are entitled who are supposed to be getting scholarship don't get the scholarship. Okay, so for example, I mean, look at persons with disabilities who are downtrodden. How are they able to get these scholarships? How are they? I mean, this time is about who you know and who knows you.
Right.
So and how politically connected you are to be able to get all these scholarships. I mean, disabled people are not able to have all these linkages, and so they don't have scholarship. The point is that if we say scholarship secretariat is for the poor, why is there no quota that that for every scholarship that comes, or every year, we will give 200 persons with disabilities who qualify to go to tertiary education scholarship.
Right.
Why is it not that? Okay. How have we monitored who are the people who are benefiting for scholarship in this country? Are they the poorest of the poor? It is the rich. It is the well-connected people. It is people who are connected politically,
Right.
or political, political favorites. They get all the scholarships. So disabled people don't get it. So that is why I think that it's about time not to wait and say and expect manna to fall from heaven. It doesn't happen anymore. So begin to prepare yourself. Like, our government would say we should tighten our belts. I begin to tell disabled people, begin to tighten your belt, because it will never happen. And take your life into your destiny.
What would you want changed about the current structure of the common fund? The common fund has a structure. What should we change about it so that all these things we're talking about will be a thing of the past?
I think that, thank you. I think the structure, one, we should increase the common fund.
From what to what?
In fact, we say 3%. The common fund has to be increased.
The 3% is of the 5% that is sent to the assembly.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So the 5% that is given to the assembly becomes 100% for them.
Becomes 100%.
And then
and
out
so
of that 100%, you get 3%.
Yes.
So it is not as if you are getting 3% of the original 5%.
No.
That clarity.
So the
has to be
5% goes to the whole district assembly as a bulk in Ghana. So
Takes care of
so
education,
Parliament
health,
sanitation. Then come out with the percentages. So we get 3%
Right.
of the 100%.
Right.
Okay, so that is why I'm calling for increase. Apart from
what to what? It's not 3%.
no, it's not 3%.
How many percentage points should it go up?
Fine, if we get to 10%, it's not bad.
You want 10%?
Yes.
You are aiming high. Wow.
No, 10% of 100%.
Yes. It's good.
No,
Eh?
it's good.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
good. Apart from that, there are other social interventions that persons with disabilities need to have. You see, if you go to other jurisdictions, these things are there. We are not going to reinvent the wheel. We should go and study how they are able to take care of their disabled people, get education, get employment, and then, because I happen to have my scholarship by Commonwealth Scholarship Secretariat, and I went to the UK.
Right.
My response, I didn't go sit in a classroom, but I was attached to an organization and to understand the work,
Right.
and study how it works, and
The
then
system works there.
exactly.
Bring
And
back.
my responsibility was to encourage disabled people in the UK to get onto employment,
Okay.
because they were getting incapacity benefit,
Right.
and they were happy with that. So it is the state responsibility to encourage them to get employment, and employment was available. You see, so when you get employment, you are paid, and then you move off the benefits.
Okay.
You see,
I get it, but
something like that can be done.
But in Ghana,
Here-
we gave the toll booths to persons living
And-
with
and they
disability.
took it
We
away.
How do you feel about it?
It's so bad. It's so bad. And even the manner by which they took it away was so bad. I mean, it just announcement, and then all of you have to stop the toll booth. Your salaries are locked up for 4 months. They were not paid, and a promise was made that, we'll be paying you until we reinstate you, because
Right.
the promise was that we are going to reinstate all the toll booth
That's
workers.
right. That's right. Have they been
Up to now,
reinstated?
they have not done that.
But have they been paid?
No, they have not been paid.
So they have not been paid.
They have not been paid.
They have not been reinstated.
No.
Wow. Now, I want to pick your thoughts, because the common fund is used for a lot of things, hospitals, schools,
Yeah.
and what have you. How do you feel about schools still being built in today's Ghana, where we have come this far with Persons Living with Disability Act and all of that, And we still build schools without ramps for persons living with disability.
I don't know. I don't know. All of us can think about it. What do we feel?
No,
because
you
there's a
tell
law,
me.
206. A law was passed that all buildings is given 10 years from 206 to ensure that they are made accessible and friendly to persons with disabilities. 10 years. But all new buildings must begin from the onset, must be made accessible.
Right.
That is what the law says. But nobody respects the law and nobody monitors. We have ministers who are in charge of us, and we have parliament who have passed the law,
Right.
and they don't care to check these things. You've passed the law, and the law is not being implemented. So what do you do? Okay, Parliament has oversight responsibility on the laws and the acts they pass. If you pass an act and disabled people, buildings are springing up, government buildings are springing up, schools, hospitals are springing up without access to persons with disability, what do? You just sit there and what? And allow the poorest of the poor and allow people who don't have the voice, okay, to suffer.
You have been going to the ministry.
You are our voices. You are our representative.
Right. You have been going to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, I believe.
Yeah.
Do they have ramps and elevators?
Okay, so their old buildings don't. Now they have a new building that have ramps.
Okay.
That have all the yeah. So it's accessible.
And how have they been vocal in all this common fund delay matters, especially in relation to persons living with disability?
Yeah, it's because if they have been vocal, we will see it. Because our funds, because whatever problem Ghana is facing, disabled people should not suffer. The poor should not suffer. You understand? So what if our funds delay to the point of last year, fourth quarter, if whatever the funds will be used for the fourth quarter of last year, it hasn't been done. First quarter of this year hasn't been done. Second quarter of this year hasn't been done. And we're in the third quarter. So if they are advocating and speaking for us, this thing should not happen.
Well, we have to pack it here at some point and then go into our next conversation. Guys, any questions? If you may, you have something you want to make donations, that would be fine. Why are you laughing?
I mean, the point that he makes that the money that they give them are so meager that they are not able to even start businesses. So do people end up just using them for what we call in Ghana chop money?
Yes, because sometimes
somebody told me that
they get it as low as 500 Ghana cedis.
And that one will not take even a
No.
in Teshi, I remember one of the outside broadcasts we did for Community Connect or for Star Ghana. Somebody told me that, look, they get the money
and the
money is small. Because they
use
put in an application for say 1,200 to buy maybe water to stock their fridge and stuff to sell. And then they give them 300.
Yeah.
So
by the following week it's gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
because they buy maybe 5, 6, 7 sachet of water, bags of water.
Yeah.
It's gone.
And it's recorded as you have received the common fund. And so you are put
In another batch.
Later, cry. So because, I mean, and every district, the numbers keep increasing. The social welfare keep registering disabled people.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that the social welfare don't even go out and look for disabled people because
They walk
because
out
what they
here.
have is even enough.
Come in their numbers.
It's too much.
But is there a way to verify that one person doesn't register with District A and come down to Accra to register with District B?
Oh, yes.
And go to the Volta region register with District C?
No, there's a way they verify because the social welfare before they disperse, there's a committee and then they go to check your house
Okay.
and where you live. And aside that, the organization also serves as a check.
Okay.
Because you belong to various organizations, whether
Right.
the physically disabled or the Ghana Blind Union or Mental Health Society of Ghana or GAPA, which is persons with albinism. All these associations, they have leaders, so we check. Okay. We don't allow people to abuse the system because the money is not even enough. So why would we allow one person to chop here and chop there.
So, Mr. Tetteh, your organization, how do you also educate the public to prevent, the situation where we have a lot of people with disabilities? For instance, how are you connected to the Road Safety Committee or the Road Safety Commission? Because through accidents, people become disabled, and then even some of the birth defects. And do we have that kind of education going on from your end? And how does it happen?
Exactly. We collaborate with the National Council on Persons with Disabilities and the Ghana Federation of Persons. Organizations of persons with disability. We are members of that, and then we work with them, and so we get opportunity, like on media and also on social media, to educate the public.
So, what are some of the things that lead to disability apart from accident? That's quite clear.
Through birth, when the child is not formed properly, and maybe wrong medication, and all that. And through sickness, and some of the things is unexplainable, because all of a sudden before you realize your hearing is gone.
So these are things that people should take note.
Exactly.
And also, prevent it, so that at least, especially those women who are pregnant, they're supposed to go for antenatal care. They should be regular, take their medications. Don't go take medicines that are not prescribed for you. So that anyway, that's something.
But that's an issue for the medical and the Ministry of Health to handle. But we look at when you become disabled, how do you survive?
I'm also looking at you being interested in, not becoming.
Preventing it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, we are interested. I mean, we join them to make.
So on their rounds, they see you and seeing you on TV doing the education will touch me more than the health officer just talking about it.
Helen.
I just had a quick one, Mr. Tetteh. The last time that we spoke, we were talking about persons with disability who were working at the toll booths, and we spoke with one such individual who had even threatened suicide. I just wanted an update on that side. What is going on? Has there been any reprieve, any monies disbursed?
No, nothing. As we speak, it's like the case is died.
But the finance minister made a point that we're going to reopen the booths.
Yeah,
it hasn't happened.
Yeah, I saw him. He says a whole lot of things. I mean, some time ago, he said he was turning the
no, he didn't say that.
That was it. Yes, we must clarify. But Mr. Tetteh, at the time,
every time he comes with, we don't trust him anymore.
Yeah, Mr. Tetteh, at the time, we were told that persons with disabilities working at the toll booths would be reassessed, that they would be supported with monies as they stay at home. So you say nothing has happened.
He said they have not been reassigned. No money has been paid.
So the persons with disabilities who were saying that they were going to, commit suicide and were that situation still persists.
It still persists, and currently we don't know what is happening to them. But we just had a case, a lady who was at the toll booth died. I think in Takrady.
Yes, we followed that story.
Okay. Mr. Tetteh, I want to thank you very much indeed for your time. Alexander Tetteh is the Executive President, Center for Employment of Persons with Disability. We're grateful that you could come.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll take a quick breather. On return, we'll pick your calls on Voice of the People after this.
JPS Communications, in partnership with Sunny FM and Sunny TV, with support from Superfarm Network, presents Comic and Comedy, Ghana's maiden stand-up comedy festival.
If you want to know the number of years a man is married, ask about his wife.